The difference between these two lots that I sold in the last 24 hours on eBay is that these were free and these I paid for, but they were part of a large overall bulk buy that was not just VHS tapes. So this one I paid for $100 for this bulk buy, which I'll talk a little bit more about, and this one was free. So let's talk about this one. So this one came from back in June from a guy that brought me not only VHS tapes, but a couple of, probably like 2 or 3 boxes of laser discs as well. The laser discs were kind of thrown in to sweeten the deal there because I knew I was getting over 300, if I remember correctly, VHS tapes, most of which were sealed. And it turned out that a lot of the VHS tapes, sealed VHS tapes, were not super great titles, but I still was able to sell them off locally, and I found some good ones mixed in there as well. But what ended up making most of the money were the laser discs, funny enough. But yeah, I spent $100 on that lot, which was mostly VHS tapes. But then he's like, "Oh, I also found that I had a couple boxes of laser discs. You want those too?" And I was like, "Sure," because I know that laser discs still sell on eBay. A few people, only a couple, have asked me about them in my store. Some people have walked in and asked, "Do you guys have laser discs?" And we don't. I don't keep them here because there's not a demand. Although I've never tried to sell them in here, but I always sold them on eBay. So I knew that laser discs sold well, and I knew that certain sealed VHS tapes can go from great money. And what I did with these is I lotted them up as, all kids sealed VHS tapes. Not Disney. I mean, there's a Disney here. Let's say there's only one Disney, I guess. Homeward Bound 2. The other ones are Shiloh, Black Beauty. What is this one? Fly Away Home, Free Willy 2, Free Willy 3. Would have been cool if I had the first Free Willy. But these are all also, if you're not aware, these are called clamshell cases. It's the oversized VHS tape cases that a lot of kids' VHS tapes came in. So you'll see a lot of Disney ones and others as well, but a lot of Disney that have these clamshells. Sometimes, most of them tend to be white, but sometimes they're black, sometimes they're orange. You'll find Barney ones that are purple. This one here is gold. So there will be some different colors, but for the most part, they'll be white clamshells. So just keep that in mind. I don't find that too many clamshells are worth money, but there's always some here and there, as you find that the normal VHS tape sleeves, VHS tapes that are in the normal sleeves are worth a bit more on average. This one didn't sell for much money. I took an offer because I've had it sitting since the summer, and it is kind of big, so I'm willing to take a lower offer, of course, especially considering I've already made my money back. So everything that I sell is already profit. I took an offer of, I had it listed for $21.99 plus shipping for 6 of them sealed. I took an offer of $13 plus shipping, so that's fine to get rid of them, to move them, make a little bit of money. So this local buy came to me here in the store from a guy that was trying to sell all that stuff on, I think he had it on Craigslist, that kind of thing, locally. And he contacted me asking if I was interested, and I said sure. And so we made a deal for $100. So that ended up being a good deal. And I'm still selling off some of the few other VHS tapes that I have listed, as well as I still have some laser discs still on eBay. But these are the kind of opportunities that come along, and not every opportunity is worth it, but some are. And this was a pretty good one. There are definitely a lot of kids VHS tapes that, if you find them sealed like these, can be worth a lot of money. I shared with you the other day that I sold that Little Bill VHS tape it sold for $38 plus shipping, and I found it for $1 in the thrift store. Now, if that had been sealed, I could have got considerably more money. So, those more rare VHS tapes, kids VHS tapes. It could be any VHS tape that is sealed, that is already worth money used. But if you find it sealed, it's probably unlikely for a kid's VHS tape to be sealed. More likely for a movie, that kind of thing, a non-kids programming, because the parents tend to use the VHS tape. But if you come across those as well, it could be worth some really good money. I don't tend to come across too many sealed kids VHS tapes, but keep your eyes open, you never know. So this one over here was from that free dirty book pickup that I made a video about and did. I think it was on the 1st or 2nd of this month, November. Today's November 17th, 2023, and it is Friday. Happy Friday. So this came from that pickup, those 15 tubs of books on someone's front porch that had birdseed all over them. They'd clearly been sitting out there for quite a long time. It could have been a couple years, but thankfully they were in tubs instead of boxes like this. And with those kind of tubs, the tops can close pretty well. So there was a couple of cracked ones, but anyway, they were overall in pretty good shape. So when you look at these are the Warrior. They're called Warriors. They're literally books about cats that talk. And hey, to each their own, right? And there's a whole series. These are all 3 box sets, 6 books in each, all a different I don't know, series within the whole book series, whole collection. The New Prophecy. This one is Power of 3. I think this was the first ones that came out. So they're all different books. They're different series, and the actual books are in great condition. A couple of the, like this one's got a tear here, not a big deal. But I looked them up individually, and it wasn't worth it to sell them individually. It was just made more sense to do it as a whole lot, and it's much more appetizing to a buyer to purchase all 3 at once than for them to buy one at a time, especially someone who's new to the series, that kind of thing, and just wants to get them all at once. That's the great thing about putting lots together on eBay. So again, I got these for free. I just had to put in some sweat equity. It took me, 30 minutes or so, maybe 40, to load up my truck with all of the tubs, and that was difficult because they're very heavy. And then it took me a couple hours to go through everything. But afterwards, as you saw in the video, I pulled out a lot of books to put in my store, which I still have. Many of them I haven't put out yet. It's going to take me several weeks to get through those and put them out as new books. But I also found a lot of stuff that I can sell on eBay, and this was one of the better ones. So these sold for $41.99 plus shipping. I'm going to ship them out today. $41. So again, you got to kind of weigh the cost benefit analysis, the advantages and disadvantages of free book pickups. One of the biggest disadvantages is, cost or challenge or hurdle, is literally the physical work. So if you are not up for the challenge of lifting boxes that could potentially weigh 40 to 50 pounds, or tubs, then over and over again, then I definitely wouldn't mess up your body doing that. Now, if it's only a couple boxes you can handle, and there are the boxes are lighter, that kind of thing, like a banker's box full of books, as long as they're not all large textbooks packed with those, that'll be a heavier box. If they're all paperbacks or smaller books, then they're not that heavy. But if they are larger boxes, if they are hardcovers, then it might be too much. But if you can handle it, or if you can handle the smaller loads, then I recommend it, because number one, it's free. Number two, it's helping someone out. So the person that you are taking the books from, you're doing a great service, because there are very few organizations that will pick up a bunch of books. They might pick up a bunch of clothes, furniture, that kind of stuff, but just books, a lot of them won't do it unless it's along with other items, because books just aren't as looked on as favorably from a thrift store or whatever organization it may be. They tend to like other types of stuff instead of the books. So a lot of them, I know in my area anyway, won't do that. they will not pick up anything. You can drop them off, and even some of them, if you drop them off, the books off, they won't, or you want to donate a lot of books, they won't even take them. So you're offering a great service for free, doing all the labor, and hopefully they've got some good books in there that you can do something with, like in this example of selling these. So yeah, so just keep that in mind. These opportunities for me come along because I'm out there, because I have a store, but also because people can find me online, not only my website, but also on when people are searching using Google Maps or just Googling something, bookstore, donate books, that kind of stuff, I will pop up. And if you don't want to create a website, obviously if you don't want to create a store, you can always pass out pretty inexpensive business cards and just tell people what you do, and you'd be surprised what can come along. There is just a lot of people on a daily basis in your area, especially if you live in a highly populated area. Even an area that has 100,000 people, there's going to be almost every day there's somebody in that area that is trying to get rid of books. It's just a matter of letting them know that you are available to pick them up. So look for these. Individually, these Warriors books are not going to be worth much, but if you get them together as a box set, even if they were not in the boxes, but I had 18 of them or 15 of them or whatever, I can complete one of these series, then you definitely have something you can sell online. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Take care.